Hi everyone, Bernard here with the latest little citizen vlog special. We are putting these out at the moment just to try and keep everyone entertained. Quite an interesting one today. Please, if you're new to the Citizen channel, please push the all subscribe button. That'll be great. Tell your friends, push the bell notification so you know these little city things, past and present, are coming out. This is obviously a past one today because it's an interesting quiz about the past. So please, thumbs ups are always nice. Comments always welcome. All my links are below for different vlogs, etc. I won't go on about that, bang on about that. They're all there below. Please check out all my vlogs and things. And I also do movie vlogs, board game review vlogs, and poster vlogs. So if you're interested in anything like that, please have a look in the links below. Right, yeah, I mean, if you get a season card, whether it's platinum, gold, or the bug, whatever they're called these days, the bog standard ones. I mean, we always get these little books, don't we? And I do have a cursory glance. And then for someone like me who likes history and stuff, I'm quite ashamed that sometimes I don't really give them the credit they deserve. These little books. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic about all the Manchester City managers. And this was obviously from 2018-19. And I've actually been looking through recently, I've obviously been trying to find things to do. It's so quiet at the moment. I'm not doing anything, not doing much. You know what I mean? So I've been looking through, and obviously this is great. I mean, takes us back from the old. I mean, I'm doing my Citizen Past vlogs, so old managers, and I've missed some information here I could have used in those vlogs I've been doing on the past. It's amazing. There's so much stuff I've got so much information I've got that I just stumble across stuff every day that I've not included. So I thought for a little bit of fun, I do a quiz on the last 50 years of managers. So, and even though obviously, I'm too young for that. I mean, there's a lot of these you should know anyway. So just have a go. I mean, I'm going to do it in two parts. So this first part is from 1965 to 1993. So again, if you're younger, don't worry about it. You'll be able to get some of these and guess some and get some information. But overall, some great stuff out there for you to learn anyway. And I've learned while I'm just doing this, even though I think I know a lot. I don't. I know pretty much nothing. So I'll split it into two. There's 12 questions today and a maximum of 23 points up for grabs. So see how you do. We see a lot of visual. It's a lot of visual stuff as well. So please watch this. You'll have to. I'll try and not show my. You're having to see my ugly mug, aren't you? But I'll try not to do it too much. Answer him the time of the quiz or pause it and have a think. It's up to you how you play it. It's just for a bit of fun. And please, and let me know what you score. I'll let you know what I would have scored if I tried to do this without the knowledge of going through this book. Anyway, fantastic book. Thank you, Manchester City. Please, if you've got this, don't dig it out and start, for part two. Don't start cheating and trying to find out all the information, because obviously it's basic information taken from this book, and so please, just for a bit of fun, obviously to pass a bit of time. Right, first question. It's a very, I'm not giving too much away. Mr. Joe Mercer from 1965 to 71. There's a great image in there with the trophy. I mean, I was probably at that game, saw that trophy being lifted there at Main Road. Wonderful times. But Joe Mercer's a player. He won the league. He actually won the league twice with two different teams. Can you tell me which two teams Joe Mercer, wonderful player, he won league titles with? Obviously did as a manager with City. So I mean, there's a few managers have done that, but not that many, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I should have researched that, shouldn't I? But so which two teams did he win league titles with? And first division titles, not any cheap ones. First division titles. I have to cover this one up now for the second question. Question 2 is about, well, the mercurial, the amazing, obviously, Malcolm Allison. I won't show you a picture of him. You know Malcolm Allison, don't you? I'll show you a picture when I do the answers in a bit. He had two stints as manager, obviously, at Manchester City. Can you name the two start years for those stints? Obviously, he had two. So, again, 2 points up for grabs, one for each. I'm not going to give you half a point of a year out because, obviously, have a think. So, he had two stints as manager. Which were the two start years for Malcolm Allison? Some good stuff on here as well. It shows you like the win percentage, how many games they've won. There's not many managers in the early days obviously got more than, in the 40% rather than over the 50%. So that's an interesting thing in these. And it tells you the highest position they finished as well as a manager, which is quite interesting with some of them. Right, next question. Can you name this guy? Just a 1 point question this. Just give me the name of this ex-City manager. It's 1 point up for grabs there. Question 4, 2 points up for grabs with this one. Again, it's the name of the manager. Again, I can't see myself in the background of this picture, but I was in the background of this picture somewhere. So please, I want the name of the manager. And after leaving City, he went on to manage another club to a Division 1 title. So name the manager. And which club did he move to manage to a Division 1 title? Look at that. Look at the City fans in the background there. Superb image. My first League Cup final, my first trip to Wembley. Very disappointing result, obviously, but I'm sure you know the manager. And what club did he go to win a title? Next one, question 5. We've got the wonderful, obviously, Skip. We all know him as Skip. One of the wonderful, fantastic. Is he honorary president now? From which club? I mean, we know him as a manager. For which club did he join City as a player? And what was his favourite position? What was his favourite position? His outfield position. Be specific on this. I want his, not just one word. I want his actual position. You can give me the number as well if you want. That'll give us a clue. Wonderful Tony book. Question 6. Be careful with this one because there's obviously another picture on the other side of someone else. But question 6. So this is a name the manager. Well, obviously it's all managers. Name him. And which club did he actually leave to join City? So you might be clues in the words there. I don't want to show you the words just in case. So who is he? And which club did he join to join City? See, I told you to be easy. Even if you're youngsters, you'll know all these, won't you? Again, you got to be clever on this one. I've got to be really clever on this one. Again, it's another difficult one. Again, name this manager and what was significant about his last game in charge for City. Who did we actually play in his last game in charge for City? A very significant game. So, name the manager. There you go. It's not Prince Edward. Looks like a young Prince Edward, doesn't it? And who did we play in his last game in charge? Any significant? It was a significant game. But who was the manager? I've covered that up. I'll show you in the answers why I covered that up, obviously. Here's another one of name the manager. I want to know which club he joined from. So who was he managing before he joined City? And who did he go to after he left City? So 3 points up for grabs with this one. Name the manager. And where did he come from? And where did he go to manage? You'll be getting top points for this, won't you? I don't think there'll be any doubt whatsoever. This is another who is he? So it's another picture. And I want to know which was his last managing role before joining City. I'm not going to say he joined City as a manager, but which was his last managerial role before joining City? Here's a gentleman. You should know that. I mean, he sort of, as you'll see it again in a while in the answers, he obviously had an impact at different levels at City. But before joining City in some capacity, what was his last managerial role and who is it? Another one. I'll just try and show him again, the guy that I'm interested in again. Who is he? And from which club did he join? So which club did he leave to join City? Who is it? More importantly, a lot of love out there for this guy still. Certainly for his quality of football and for a certain match, obviously, that he presided over. That's question 10. Question 11, Mr. Howard Kendall. So you know the answer to this. I'll give you the answer to this, Mr. Howard. Wonderful, Mr. Some people would say Judas unkindly, but hey, City were his affair of it. Was it his affair? City were his mistress and Everton were his wife or something like that. Anyway, Howard Kendall. Just 1 point up for grabs here. From which club did he join City? A bit of a tricky one there. I didn't know this one. I totally got this wrong when I guessed it. So from which club did he join City? Bit of a coup for Mr. Swales, wasn't it, getting Howard Kendall? Think about that one. That's quite a tricky one, I think. And the last question for this part one of the City Manager quiz. Of course, it's the wonderful Peter. You can see all in order these, so you'll be able to. I won't do a test on the managers in order either, but obviously the wonderful Peter Reid. An interesting one. This, which was his highest, which position was the highest while he was managing that City finished in? So what was the highest position he took us to? And when he left City, who did he go to manage? So 2 points up for grabs. Who did he manage after leaving City? And what was his highest league position as manager of City? An interesting one. Peter Reid. Right, 23 points there. If you paused it or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's just for a bit of fun. Have a quick look at. I'm gonna have a quick look for the answers now of these. So 23 up for grabs. I'll tell you how many I got when I go through these. Right, obviously Joe Mercer, the wonderful, fantastic, wonderful Joe Mercer, from 1965 to 71. A win percentage of just under 44% for City. There's a little thing there, which is quite interesting. 340 games, and he won 149. So that's pretty good. There's more information, as I say. So you've got these books. Dig them out and have a look. I mean, you're looking for something. You forget, don't you? You stick them in your, like me, I keep them in my tins or my boxes we got. So I forget. Anyway, which two clubs did he win league titles with? Of course, well, he won a league title with Everton, and he won 2 with Arsenal, obviously. And it was interrupted by the war years as well, 39 to 45. So he probably could have done a lot better as a player. But obviously 3 league titles, fantastic. 1 with Everton, 2 with Arsenal. On to, of course, the mercurial Mr. Malcolm Allison. He's got 2 pages here because he had 2 stints. Yes, and the first stint was 72-73, so you put 72, give yourself a point. The second stint was 1979-80, so if you put 79, give yourself a point. His first stint, his win percentage, 41%, so he played 78-132. His second stint was 25% win average. It was 1979-80. So he played 60 games and won just 15. But I mean, we all remember the famous documentary City. If you never watched that or you want to watch it again, a superb documentary. I'm sure it's out there on YouTube. His best ever finish in Division 1 was 4th in his first stint. And his best ever finish in his second stint was 17th. So it wasn't very good. Obviously, Joe Mercer, I don't need to tell you his best position, do I? Obviously, it was first. All right, on to the next one. Of course, wonderful pitch, and of course the wonderful Johnny Hart, who was dogged by ill health and injury as a player and ill health as a manager, etc. 1973, 39% win rate. So only 23 games, he won 9 of them. So, and he signed the wonderful Dennis Law there, and I think he also signed Keith McRae. You remember the famous, wonderful, fantastic Scottish goalkeepers? They weren't all rubbish, were they? On to the next one, of course, a great image, isn't it, of City fans at Wembley in the background, Manchester City versus Wolves in 1974. Of course, it's Ron Saunders, who managed us in 73-74. And, of course, he went on to manage Aston Villa to the Division 1 title. And the following season, they actually won the European Cup, but he's actually left. So he was actually in charge the season they won the European Cup, but he left halfway through. But a bit of a hard taskmaster now, Ron Saunders. Again, I've done a little thing on that in Citizen Past vlog, so please have a look at that about Ron Saunders. So his win percentage, just under 35%, 34.5%. Games 29, we won 10 of them, so not too bad. Right, the next one, of course, we're talking about Mr. Tony Buck. Fantastic skip. Oh, Ron Saunders, highest position. Have we got a highest position? No, because he didn't complete a season. Tony Buck, highest position was second. He got us. Obviously, we nearly took Liverpool. We nearly took the title from Liverpool one season. The wonderful Tony Buck, didn't we? But 269 games, 114. So not bad. 42% win rate. Oh, it's not bad really in the scale of things. He joined City from Plymouth Argyle. Quite old, he was quite an old young man. I think he came from Bath to Plymouth, a non-league team originally, about in his late 20s. And of course, he was number 2, so which made him the right back, didn't it? It's Tony Buck. So give yourself a point each for those Bath and number 2 right back. Name the manager, of course. Of course, it was John Bond, wasn't it? I mean, I'm sure we love John Bond. We even had a song saying we loved him. Best position, 10th. Wasn't too bad. 41% win rate, 123 games, 151. John Bond, We Love You was the song, and we did sing it with some quite loudly. It was sang with some gusto. And of course, he came from Norwich City. So give yourself 2 points if you got John Bond and Norwich City. And I covered this other guy up, the next one, because obviously he was linked in with John Bond. Obviously, Mr. John Benson, who obviously his best finishes was 20th, and sadly that saw us down, and that was the game. That was the momentous game in obviously 83 against Luton Town, where we lost 1-0. Again, I've again appeared on one of my recent Citizen Pass vlogs, unfortunately. So yeah, his last game. So it's John Benson. His last game was Luton Town. I mean, a 17.65% win rate, 17 games, won 3. John Benson. Not fondly remembered, I don't think, but say he was obviously John Bond's right-hand man. On to the next man, of course, Billy McNeil. And who he's with, but we'll go on to him in a minute. Billy McNeil, his right-hand man next to him there, but right-hand man who used to come a manager, obviously, in the next question. He joined from Celtic, obviously, but come from Celtic, and he went to Villa. We got them relegated and went back to Celtic, I believe. So Billy McNeil, win rate 40%, not too bad. Best finish 15th in Division 1. Games 156, 163. Interesting times when Billy McNeil was there. And of course, it led us on to the next guy that we were doing. Obviously, Billy McNeil's right-hand man, who then took over, Jimmy Frizzell. You can forget the wonderful Mr. Jimmy Frizzell. And obviously, before he came to City as McNeil's right-hand man, he didn't come as manager. He came as a right-hand man to Billy McNeil. He was sacked from Oldham, and that was his last managerial job as at Oldham. So he had a bit of a break, and then he came as Billy McNeil's right-hand man. So that's Jimmy Frizzell, and he was sacked from Oldham. So that was his last managerial role. Question 10. Yeah, I mean, a lot of fond memories of Mel Machin, haven't we, and his team, and obviously the 89 game against United is obviously up there, isn't it? What was Jimmy Frizzell's 21st, his best finish? So not great, 23% win rate. It's 42 games, 110, so it wasn't great, was it? Yeah, so anyway, Mel Machin, obviously remembered fondly by a lot of City fans still for the football we played, and who can forget the demolition of our enemies. And he came from Norwich City. So another one, obviously, we've got a couple from Norwich City, haven't we? John Bond as well. But he also came from Norwich City, Mel Machin. Best position, 17th, but with a 45% win rate. So wasn't too bad at all, was it? 130 games, 159. So 17 seems a bit low. You thought it would have perhaps was a bit better than that, wouldn't you? So give yourself a point each for that. Mel Machin, Norwich City, 2 points. 1 point was only up for grab, wasn't it? And obviously it's about we're not going to say wonderful about Howard Kendall, are we? I mean, obviously people got horrible things to say about him, but a 34% win rate, 38 games and 13 wins, but there's 18 draws. So, that was his thing, wasn't it? It's shoring up the defence. So out of 38 games, we were unbeaten, basically. In 31, we were only beaten in 7. And his best position was 14th, but I think he did that with obviously. It doesn't sound great, does it? But at the time, it was fantastic. But obviously, he went back to Everton. And where did he come from? Well, I would have said Everton, but actually, he was managing Athletic Bilbao. Kendall from Athletic Bilbao. So if you got that, give yourself a point. And the last question, of course, Mr. Peter Reid. Where did he still? There we go, 5th. That was his highest position. So I thought it was 6th. Actually, I would have been wrong. I had 6 in my mind, but I think he did. I think we finished 5th and 6th, and perhaps 6th again. I'm not too sure. A 45% win rate, which is one of the higher ones. 136 games and 159. But Peter Reid, and yes, of course, he went to Sunderland. You should know that he went on to cheer up Peter Reid and all this sort of thing up in. Not Roker Park, then was it? Or whatever. Obviously, the new ground is Stadium of Light, whatever it's called. Yeah, so Peter Reid. So give yourself a point each for finishing 5th. I'm not going to give you half a point because I didn't give myself that. And obviously went to Sunderland. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, that was 23. I'll tell you now, if I ever done that without any knowledge, without looking at this book, etc., I scored 19 out of 23, which isn't bad. I'm sure some of you would get more than 19. Please let me know what you get. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We will be a part 2. So obviously we're looking part 2. We're looking from 1970. Oh, sorry, what we're looking at part 2. Let's get the date. After Peter Reid. Do you know who is after Peter Reid? I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, we're going from 1993 up to 2020. So if you're younger, you'll think you do better. I bet you did okay at that. I bet you did fine because you get to know these managers. One of those things that obviously you do get to learn about if you read programs and watch the City games, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed that. And I say at part 2, just keep your eye. If you push the bell notifications and say there's other different quizzes coming out as well, but part 2 will come out in probably a week or two's time. And who knows what's happening with the COVID-19 thing by then, all things. We may be playing football. I very much doubt it. I mean, I'm recording this on the 19th of March and nothing looks any better than it is. Things are just getting worse. So anyway, please look after yourself, look after your friends, look after your family, and look after anyone you think might be vulnerable near you. Give a thought to other people. That's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. And hopefully... look at the comments, look at the links below, anything on the cards that are on this thing telling you what to watch, etc. Just out anything if you're a little bit bored, just give us a watch, and that's absolutely fantastic. And I hope you enjoyed this little Manchester City managers quiz part 1, and let me know what you scored. Did you beat me? You probably did. Anyway, thanks for watching.